Hey, welcome back. This will be part 2 in my how to make $10,000 before the end of the year with using PPL video series. If you missed the first one was just talking about why I would use PPL. The second one is where I said the best starter PPL is probably property leads, and that's the one I would suggest most people to start with because you could start with the smallest budget possible. The next one I want to talk about is Ispeedtolead. Ispeedtolead will have a link down below if you want to check it out. There's multiple different ways that you can buy from Ispeedtolead, and that's why I think they're probably the next best one. There's probably like 1A, 1B with property leads and Ispeedtolead because you can start off with a small budget on Ispeedtolead as well. But the best way to start out with an Ispeedtolead small budget is to use the coupon club. Long of a short story, the coupon club is where you can spend $200 per month. I think it's $199, something like that. And then you get access to non-exclusive leads. So they've gone out, they generated a lead, they put it on the marketplace. The marketplace is where you can go buy these for full price the second it hits. So if you want to buy it at full price in a specific area, that's the nice part about Ispeedtolead versus property leads. Property leads, you just bid on state or nationwide or whatever. With Ispeedtolead, you can actually see the motivation and the location. So it's going to pop into a lead feed. You may want to watch just for like your specific state. Again, I'll use examples where I know really well. I'm in Arizona, so I could have it pop up and I could save an Arizona list. And anytime something new pops up in Arizona, I could have it notify me on my phone, or I could manually go to the site. I could sort by Arizona or Texas or Colorado or wherever I want to sort my list to. And then I can scroll down and it will tell me the motivation for why they're potentially open to selling their property. Is it relocation? Is it downsizing? Is it upgrading? Is it because it needs repairs? Is it because they have financial distress? Is it because of a foreclosure? Things like that, right? So you can see a little bit of the motivation that these people have before you buy it. And then you can also see, does it need repairs? And what is the location that it's in? Not down to the address, but you can see it normally down to the city or to the county that it's in. And it will tell you like on a little score that say this county or this area has 100 buyers in this area, and then you scroll to the next one and it has 3,000 buyers in that area. Now you know that that one actually has some activity and you're not buying one out in the middle of nowhere. So it can make a little more sense to spend a little bit more off the marketplace, and you could be paying $200 or $300 per lead on there, but you're buying high motivation in an area that you like, right? So that's the best part of buying them off of the marketplace. You just load a credit card. You can have a balance on there, where if you load up a balance, sometimes you can get them to give you a bigger, like a bonus balance or things like that. When you sign up, you have to text or call with one of the representatives. Again, use my link when you sign up and you'll get a little something there. It changes as it goes, so I don't know what it's going to be at this moment. And then I do get a little kickback whenever you spend any money on there, if it's not a bonus balance thing. So anyways, just a full disclaimer on there, but I do use it personally and I have closed deals from there, and I wouldn't recommend it just because I get that little kickback. So just be aware of that. If the property doesn't sell on the marketplace and the lead feed, so it went from $300, it'll say at full price, or it may drop a little bit through 24 hours. After 24 hours through 48 hours, they drop the price a little bit to try and sell it to somebody exclusively. If it doesn't sell at that point, at hour 48 and 1 minute, so 48 hours and 1 minute, it drops into the coupon club and into sale status. Once it hits sale status, if you're a member of that coupon club that I told you about earlier and you paid that $199 per month, you can now buy that lead for $29, right? It's non-exclusive at this point though, so 20 people could buy it at that price. If they wanted to, and you could all be calling that seller and trying to talk them into working with you as the buyer. But in personal experience, I've seen it's most of the time like 1 or 2 or 3 people that are potentially calling. So it's a great way to get a small budget spread across a large amount of leads, because even if it doesn't work out and you don't get it, it was $29, right? You're going to spend $29 going to Burger King and buying yourself, a lunch. And upsizing it. So could you spend that on a lead that could potentially get you $10,000? I think you can. And now that you've got those leads and you're calling on those leads, you're building up a pipeline of people to follow up with. Maybe they don't answer right away, or maybe they're not ready to sell immediately, but they're people you can keep following up with over time and potentially will turn into a deal. If you call on those and it's within the first 21 days, Ispeedtolead has a refund policy, as long as it wasn't bought with a bonus balance and it was bought by money that you loaded to the site, that they'll actually refund the lead for you and give it back as a credit to use towards another lead if they already sold the property to somebody else and it's under contract. So that's why you don't need to worry about whether or not other people are calling on it, because worst case that happens, somebody else got it under contract and they're going to do the deal. Cool. So within the first 3 weeks, dispute that lead, get a refund credit, and then go spend it on another lead. You can dispute it because they've decided that they're not selling. You have to send a text or a call recording or something to prove to them that they're no longer interested. They'll give you a refund on that. There's a couple different reasons, and you could read through the site if you want to know all of them, but basically it's if they've changed their mind, they're no longer selling, they're not the property owner, they're a wholesaler, or they've already sold the property or are under contract with somebody else. So all of those reasons could potentially get you a refund to just recycle that credit and buy another lead. And again, if you're using the coupon club, which is how I would suggest new people to start, at least with Ispeedtolead, you can pick specifically where you're going to buy those leads, so you can guarantee that they're not in the middle of nowhere, versus the status that I told you on property leads to use their cheap nationwide leads. You can't guarantee that those aren't in the middle of nowhere. So is it a little bit higher investment to spend the $200 per month and then $29 per lead? Yeah. But if you buy enough of them, it's actually lower price per lead than if you were buying the $50 per lead ones on property leads. Because even if that 200, once you buy enough of them, your average cost on top of the 29, you can do the math and figure out where it makes more sense and how many leads you would have to buy to get your cost below the $50 that you would be paying per lead on property leads. So anyways, that's the quick synopsis of Ispeedtolead. Again, I have closed deals with them on both houses and vacant land. I've done 6 figures on Ispeedtolead assignments, and I think you can too, but you can't do it if you don't try. Check out the link down below, sign up for the site. Even if you don't load any money onto it and you never buy a lead, at least you get access to the platform and you can look at it and you can kind of see where things are. And maybe one day something pops up and you go, you know what, I do like that lead. I like that area. I like that motivation. I'm just going to go ahead and buy this one lead, and then buy that one lead. And you can totally do that. Even if you're not in Coupon Club, but you're just not going to get the Coupon Club price. So it might be $100 you're spending on that lead instead of $29 that you're spending on that lead, if that makes sense. So any questions, concerns on PPL, drop them in the comments. You can find me on Instagram @DanaInvests, and I would love to help you get your first deal using PPL.